this charming lady is going to give up her crown.
That journey is everything to me. We are not a pageantry dominating country. I would say it again, I'm not scared of anyone.
The entire Sri Lanka spoke about
I didn't expect that. I want to clarify, even if I did, I don't think it's a crime. That in my head-to-head speech, I wouldn't be able to change the entire world. But if I can change one person's world, that could be their whole world. That is why I'm telling she is the Miss World we needed. That crown didn't change her.
Welcome to another edition of the Fame Game with myself and Rozanne. Diasz. Today is the 31st of October, Friday. In 4 days from now, on the 4th of November, Tuesday evening, at around 9 o'clock in the night, this charming lady is going to give up her crown and end her reign as the reigning Miss World Sri Lanka 2024. Out of the, you've got 4 days more, 48 hours into 2. Are you happy? Are you relieved? Are you sad? Are you nostalgic? Are you what?
I think it's mix of everything. I can't just name one feeling because that journey is everything to me. So I'm happy for every single opportunity I gained from it, the experience that I had. Also a little sad that that journey is,
that chapter is over.
Like finishing, and I have to go to the next chapter, which I'm grateful for. But again, that entire experience changed my entire life. But not in a greedy way, though. Not that I want to keep the crown forever with me, not that way. But that friendships that I've created, the memories I have with you, with Model Shop and other contestants, and all the painful moments as well as the happy moments. But I'm relieved that it is a huge responsibility, obviously, because it is not just Anudi Gunasekara. Your entire country is waiting for you to perform, and you are representing all of them, not just one person. That is a huge responsibility. So I think it's everything, not just one feeling.
So you opened our show, Fame Game. She was the first guest.
Yes, you did.
And when we interviewed you that time, you were just about to leave for the Miss World pageant. Did you ever think that you'll create such a wave during the pageant?
To be honest, no. I didn't think so. Because I don't think, again, we are not a pageantry dominating country. I would say it again, I'm not scared of anyone. Because
we discuss the same thing.
Because we are not. We have had wonderful contestants. We are sending everyone to each contest every single year. But Sri Lanka wasn't this pageantry country in the international scope.
You were bashed for saying that, right?
Yeah, but I don't really care at this point. Because I think you need to have that courage to speak up. Speak the truth. And people will say anything, no matter what you say. What I meant was not that we are not sending contestants to pageants. We do. But do we create an impact? That was the question.
Impact there.
So again, I don't think it's really like contestants' problems. Again, we need a lot of support and all that. So I didn't really expect people to, hype this pageant this much, or to share things around and comment and like and message me.
And to show you so much love, right? You received so much of love during that time.
Even spoke about in the Parliament of Sri Lanka. It went to that
When I
level.
saw that, I was shocked because we were at the rehearsals. It was like before we had Top Model, I think. We were doing all these practices and whatnot. And I was tagged. And I was not on Facebook because I had to sort of log out because it was too much to handle. But somebody sent me a WhatsApp message saying that they're talking about you and Saheli. And I was like, wait, not possible. I don't think so. And then I checked it. And honestly, I was tearing up to see that I'm just a 25-year-old girl. And I was nobody before I came to that Miss World pageant. I was just Miss World Sri Lanka.
So maybe Colombo knew you, the few of us who knew you before the pageant, during the pageant,
Yes.
knew you, but the entire Sri Lanka spoke about
I didn't
you.
expect that. So that is why I'm saying it was shocking to me. That is why I always say I did not do any campaigns or PR campaigns, because
Which you were accused again of doing by
again, Kumar, I
people.
want to clarify. Even if I did, I don't think it's a crime. I think
Exactly.
The thing is, in Sri Lanka, marketing yourself is known as some sort of a crime, that you can't do it. If you do it, it's showing off. It's not showing off, it is showcasing
And look, marketing
who
Sri
you are.
Lanka, not Anudi Gunasekara.
Yeah, that's what.
Anudi is by the way, right?
Right? So they had that accusation, but I remember when Kumar was telling me, this is just after I won. He was like, go to that event, Anudi, go to this event, Anudi. People need to know you. And I always sometimes fight with him saying, no need.
Yeah, we didn't see you
it's
much
okay.
before.
I'll
She
just
took a
keep a
dip,
low
she took a
key
dip.
profile, because I'm not coming from a star family. We are very low key. We are
There's
coming
nothing
from
wrong in being that.
No, I'm saying that I was not used to it.
That
So
was not you.
That was not me, and it was too much exposure for me. I always tried to keep a very low key, low profile. So when that kind of blowing
Blew up,
up,
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what do I do now? But I think I got used to it immediately. But I'm so grateful for all the love. I didn't tell you, but this 70-year-old grandfather sent me a poem, or like a letter, all the way from Goa. So that entire letter is about how proud he is to see how I represented our country. And I don't think he can even write properly.
I
because
think
he's
you set
old.
the benchmark very high.
I mean, it's a lovely compliment, and I really wanted to say that it should be a foundation for other girls or other contestants who are going to represent Sri Lanka. So I really hope that people will continue supporting anyone else who comes after me.
Because after you, even when girls went for normal, small pageants, the hype still remained.
Yes.
And they were like, this is Sri Lanka and we should put Sri Lanka
Yes.
forward. Even the smaller pageants. So I think it will continue, and you created that trend.
I mean, I don't want to take credit like I created, but thank you
It
again.
happened.
I
It
mean,
just happened.
I just feel bad for saying that. But again, like you said, I see our contestants are placing, and people really acknowledge it. Like I want to say that we have had placed before. Not that
There was no noise though.
No noise. People didn't know that we have had remarkable achievements, but people didn't acknowledge it. And they're like, we didn't know that this is a pageant, and even Miss World is happening since 1953. People absolutely had no idea, but the pageantry community knew. But that was it. But now I think regardless of age, gender, race, ethnicity, everyone sort of gathered together for this mission.
As a Sri Lankan.
As Sri Lanka. So
I think it's all also time based. So, for example, some of the past queens of many years ago, they kept comparing. Look, I also went here, but there was no hype. But then you're luck that there's a thing called social media. For God's sake, now Amrita did not have as much as you had social media.
Yeah.
So the next year's queen might have something more than that, more than you.
definitely. I mean,
I think
just,
pageants are like that. You build up.
you build up.
Yeah.
It's just a handful of people.
It's time based, basically.
Yeah, and it's just a handful of people who criticize that, saying I didn't get this support, I didn't get that hype. Again, I'm understanding them, because doing a pageant is not easy, specifically without that support. So if they feel bad about it, I try to understand them. I don't have any hate towards them. I don't feel bad about it. I just try to understand them. Again, like you said, it's about social media, and sometimes we have had these economic crises, and then the civil wars, and then other political problems in the country. If not, we would have natural disasters. So it's also about the fact that people had priorities before that. So they would just focus on something, more important according to them. So maybe because of that, pageants did not get the attention or support it deserved. But I don't think I deserve to be blamed for that as well, because I didn't do anything. Because I constantly get this question like, we supported you, but this one didn't get support. I always say, why didn't you support then?
Yeah.
How is it my problem?
True.
The Anudi who was on our opening season 1 show was a different person. I've worked with you a lot, you know.
Yes.
And the Anudi who came back was a much comfortified, strong woman.
You think so?
Yeah, I've seen that in you.
I think you tried so hard to build that person.
Even with me, I bully her on purpose, but she doesn't give in. It's always like it's this, and that is good. That's what you need to inspire women there. Strong, confident women.
Secure.
Secure with your own self, your body, your mind, your soul, your all that.
I think, Kumar, we had a lot of sessions to build that up. You will always be like, you need to be more tough and be more strong and be more confident. And I think I'm also the person I am today mostly because of him. I have to give that credit. I think he bullied me, but with good intentions. He would come up with all these questions and really critical questions. And I think that all...
She was crying one day, I think. Yeah, you just... I said, no, wait. It was 11 o'clock in the night, I think.
Yeah, because midnight. I always thought I'm not good enough for him. And at one point, I was like, why are you doing this to me?
Purpose.
Yes.
I made her feel not good enough for me, not because because to keep on tiptoe. Yes. And you are on tiptoe right till the very end.
Yes. I think, Kumar, you need to go through a certain amount of experiences to be that person. I don't think training with someone and doing questions would create that person without all that experience
Pressure,
I went through, because that's a whole different life I had there. So I always say this, that from 19 years old, then when you turn 25, there's a certain amount of growth that you get. You go to college, maybe you have a relationship, you break up, and you have had friends, you break up with them, and you get the degree. So many experiences, and that growth doesn't come to you overnight. That it will take about 6 years to have that. I would say, as a pageant title holder, that is the amount of growth you will gain within that 1 year. It's that fast. Sometimes I remember I'm thinking about this. Sometimes I do one podcast today with someone, and then the next week I do another one, and I feel like I'm a different person, because you gain a lot of experiences each day, because you go to events and you talk to new people, and sometimes it could be good experience, sometimes backlash. So I think that creates a whole different person. And I don't think the person who came to that show for the first time, that wasn't the person who won. And today, the person who is sitting today in this show, she's not the same person who came to your show for the first time either. So if you do this show again with me in another 2 years, if not even 6 months, would be a completely different person. So I'm grateful for that growth, honestly.
So now you have your own show.
Yes.
I see you on radio, on television. So what is that experience like? You get to share, you get to share your experiences every day with the normal crowd who listens to radio and watch TV.
I think I kind of saw myself doing that when I was a kid, because I was doing all these news reading and whatnot when I was in school, but somehow I gave up on it eventually because of exams and everything. So this wasn't really like a shocking, surprising experience for me, because I saw myself doing it one day. But I never thought that it will be, something this far, that it will come to me this fast, obviously. But I'm really grateful for that opportunity, because again, I get to share my story with someone. It wouldn't be many people, but if at least I said that in my head-to-head speech, I wouldn't be able to change the entire world. But if I can change one person's world, that could be their whole world. I think that is my mission. So I think through my radio or my TV show, if I can change that one life, that is all I want. Because I don't
reach one soul at a time.
Exactly, because realistically, you can't change the entire world. Even with the crown, you can't. So I'm grateful for that.
How heavy is that crown?
It is really heavy.
Is it painful? Painfully heavy? Those pins stuck into your
little
hair?
Bit. I usually get a headache. But again, I think that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It does.
Beauty hurts.
It does.
Yeah.
Now, you've been also working with the 15 contestants this year's Theatre Miss World Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And in 4 days from today, on Tuesday next week at around 9 o'clock in the night, one of those girls from 1 to 15 is going to be crowned. I'm not going to ask you who your guest is or what my guest is, but what is it like interacting with them?
I just really want to hug them, because that journey, I'm telling you, it's a lot to take in.
Do they know what's in store for them, the one who wins the crown?
I think I have shared my stories, but again, Kumar, each one's journey could be different.
Yeah.
It's different. What Amrita had was not what I had. And Shadi's experience is completely different. So I think it's their journey. They need to redefine it. And it shouldn't be a copy of mine, because I will be disappointed if it's just like mine. I wanted something more from them, because I think this year we created a foundation for it. And I really hope that we will get more support for our girl, whoever wins it. I really don't care who wins it, because may the best lady win at the end of the day. I think they have a slight idea of what's happening, because I think this time everybody got to see what's happening on social media, and I also shared my journey.
Yeah, everyone was pageant experts.
Yeah, that's also there. Suddenly everybody's a pageant
fashion designer,
yes.
Catwalk trainer.
So everyone,
mentor.
Everyone
everyone
was like
an expert.
everything.
So I really hope people who supported and also criticized will support this girl. Now you have the opportunity. You couldn't help me or give me advice before I left. So I really hope that you will do that for the next girl.
Now walk the talk.
So we also know that the shoes you leave behind next Tuesday are large shoes, which are also difficult to fill, which might be difficult to fill. So talk in certain circles in Colombo, people, will the new girl, and I'm not discouraging you girls, not at all, will the new girl be able to fit into one of these large shoes that she has left behind?
The only advice that I can give is throw that shoes away and create your own shoes. Don't try to fit into that. Doesn't matter if it's large or small or painful, whatever, throw it away. Get a new pair of shoes and wear that. And take it with you when you leave. I always say this, like, I get this question from the girls as well. They're like, I'm really scared. What if I disappoint people? What if I'm not the same person that you represented of Sri Lanka at Miss World? And I'm like, so what? I didn't represent it like Amrita did, and I didn't represent it like Kavindi did, or Shade did, or Devmini did. But at the end of the day, it is your journey on it. So I'm pretty sure people will have things to say.
Obviously,
you need to get over it at one point. But whoever it is, I'm already very proud of them, and I will do my best to help them, because I know what I went through. I know the things
and
that
they know what you went through.
Yeah.
They read what you went through.
And the things that I was lacking. So I really hoped I take this opportunity to help them and, place better than we have ever done. So that is my only goal in that case.
Okay, going back to the Miss World pageant, the moment the top 40 countries were announced, we had Sangeeta on the show soon after she returned, and she said that it was like the biggest disappointment in her life. It was like piercing through her heart. She was so devastated that she couldn't believe that Sri Lanka was not in the top 40.
Yes.
What was your feeling? Did you expect to be there?
Well, it's like this. I did place in fast track events, in 3 fast track events, in the top 5
But
of
despite
Asia.
all that,
Yeah, so of course, I had hopes, because I might sound arrogant and stubborn or whatever, but I have to say that I did have some trust in me.
We all had that.
So when I was placing, I thought, okay, Sri Lanka is getting some attention, because there were people from the team itself. They came to me and said, Sri Lanka, you are placing in fast track events. That's wonderful. And even after the speech, they would be like, that speech was wonderful. So I had some hopes in my head that I will be placing. But again, when you go there, only you will know that there are so many other factors that come into play. I'm not using this as an excuse, because I am humble enough to understand and also to admit that I also had flaws and imperfections, and I would never say that I am perfect or I deserve to be in the top 20, top 8 and deserve to be the winner. Obviously not, because that's a lot of work and a lot of support needed to do that. But of course, I genuinely believe that I deserved a placement.
What was the feeling immediately?
Immediately, I would say I was really numb when that happened, because I also kind of had a feeling that it wouldn't be that way, because when you're dealing with the contestants and with the teams, you sort of understand what's going to happen tonight. You get that feeling. So something in my head was telling me things wouldn't go the way you plan, but that's completely okay. So I was also 50-50. But of course, I was hoping something. But when that happened, so it was like the last contestant was Vietnam. So they go into alphabetical order. So obviously, even if I do play, Sri Lanka comes towards the last few countries. So obviously the first 4 countries, because they placed in the fast track events and like won it. So India, Turkey and Thailand and Indonesia went to the front because they placed, they won it. And then the next few, I think 6 slots were it depends on the judges' selections and everything. So that was, of course, I was really anxious and stressful. So they kept telling names, Philippines and Malaysia and Lebanon and everything. So I knew that it's either like Vietnam, or if Sri Lanka is there, then Sri Lanka's name should be there before Vietnam, because V is after S.
Yes.
So when I was like, okay, it's fine. And then they said Vietnam. For some reason, I remember I saw Megha's face, because that's the only Sri Lankan I saw there, because my parents were like, I didn't even know where they were. But as Mr. Sri Lanka, he got to be there. And then I saw his face and he doesn't even look at me. He's just like typing something in the phone, obviously, like he couldn't look at my face either. Yeah. But I think I was also really numb and I didn't really process it. So I had this conversation with Lashni. I don't think I ever processed that pain, ever.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't think I never, like whenever it comes to my mind, I block it. And it's very unhealthy because now that night, I mean, we had the placements, but I was so happy for Miss World, my friend Opal, because we had a really close relationship, because she was Thailand and Sri Lanka. They're always together alphabetically. So whatever we do, we are together. So she was a really nice lady. I remember the very first day I met her, she was already a runner-up in Miss Universe 2024. And I thought, okay, she's like a big deal in pageant world. She wouldn't even look at Sri Lanka. And I also faced some sort of discrimination from some contestants. I wouldn't name, but it's a thing.
Yeah, Sangeeta mentioned it to us.
It's a thing in pageant, in any pageant. So I was losing hopes. I was like, I don't really care. I mean, I will just spend time and do my best and go home. And Opal comes to me. And she's like, hi, Sri Lanka, I'm Opal from Thailand. So nice to meet you. How are you doing? And I was like, this girl is so humble. Like, she could have like acted like a queen, because she was like a very much of a fan favorite in the pageant world. So from that point onwards, like whenever I have breakfast, if I'm alone, she would just drag the chair to her table and we would take pictures. And she was very supportive, always. So to me, she's the best Miss World. So
her beauty came from within also. Then.
That's what I am very glad and I'm very grateful that we have her as Miss World. So that night I didn't really cry or do anything bad, because
she won.
Yeah, because I wanted to celebrate it with her. I can't be crying because my friend won it. So I wanted to celebrate her. It's her night, not my night.
You didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I did my best, and she came to the changing room, the dressing room again. So it is also so bittersweet. It's not the Opal who was with us. So Opal who was with us before winning, I remember she was behind me. This is just before we went to the stage. She's like, she hugged me from behind. She's like, Anudi, we're having a new Miss World tonight. I'm pretty sure she didn't know that it was going to be her. So she was so excited, and I helped her out. And because the girls get together, we don't have any other help. We had volunteers, but we had to do everything by ourselves.
Very little help.
Yeah, very little help. So we would just talk to each other and help each other. And then after winning, the Opal who came to the room with bodyguards and with media, and at that moment, because
it changed.
Like, this is not the Opal I had, but this Opal is much better. Because you can't even go close to her, because the bodyguards are blocking you and the police is blocking you, and you can't even take a picture.
It's a super feeling, right?
That's just a bittersweet. So I don't think I had time to process my pain or anything, because there were other girls who...
But you said that you lost her, a friend. Now she's surrounded
Not really, because we are still in touch.
Okay.
We are still in touch. That is why I'm telling, she is the Miss World we needed. That crown didn't change her. That crown...
The surroundings changed, but it didn't change her.
She's my Opal who had coffee with me every breakfast, who had eggs with me every time we met at Trident. So to this date, I mean, she has this, she gave this gift to every girl. It's like a little key tag. that were made by the cancer patients, because a Beauty with a Purpose project was about breast cancer. I still have it in my bag because that is me carrying a part of my Miss World. So I'm because I know how painful it is when you win something and when the closest friends of you try to attack you. I know the feeling.
Don't you know that very well?
Yeah, so I don't want to be that person because she's our Miss World. So of course I didn't process that pain, and I remember the morning after it did hit me though. Like a breakup, like the next morning you realize, oh no, something happened. So I think I only cried the next morning, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I cried because it's a loss.
We won that WhatsApp camp call.
Yeah, and we called each other, and I remember I don't know what I ate.
It's human to cry, come on.
Yeah, so I cried, but I don't think I ever really sat down and processed it or went to bed thinking about it and crying.
You must have been too tired anyway.
That's what I think. It's very unhealthy also because I try to do a lot of work and multitask, so I don't have time to process it. I'm pretty sure I'll process it on the 4th of November because that's when it hits you that it's over. The chapter is over because it's also not just the loss and it's just the criticism that came with it, which was really hard to handle. So it was a lot to take in because it's almost like you lose the love of your life, and then people try to tell you the things that you could have prevented or done better to keep that love in your life. Because you can't have that love in your life again. It's gone.
True.
So all that criticism and this could have done this way and you could have done it this way, all these things really did hurt me. But of course I overcame it eventually. But I really know, the pain of loss right now, because I did not just have it. Because if you fail an exam, it's just you. You will cry and nobody will know. But I did that. I had that moment in front of the entire world. People who were waiting for me to win, I kind of felt like that I let them
disappointed
down.
them, yeah.
And then there are also people who are waiting until I disappoint them. So there were a lot of emotions involved, but the only sadness, the point that I was sad about was that I felt like I disappointed a lot of people who had faith in me, but it took some time for me to process it and understood, no, I wasn't a failure. I still
Anudi, do you think, go ahead.
Anudi, I'm going to ask you a question. You might not even want to answer it. So what do you say at the end of your reign now? 4 days more to go. Your final lines to all those wonderful, gorgeous people out there. All those really, really, fabulous people who tormented you, who ripped you apart, who tore you down, who wanted to break you mentally. The morning after you won the crown in Sri Lanka, 29th of July last year, and throughout the entire journey, right up to Miss World, and right up to after you're coming back also, all those fabulous people there, I'm being very sarcastic, please note, your final lines to all of them.
First of all, I'm only answering that question because you asked me that, because I don't want to really talk about my haters or any hate comments I get.
I want closure for myself.
Yes, because I feel like I don't want to talk about it. Not in a way that I will get hurt, because it's just a waste of time. Because another reason, now when you asked me to come for this show, I had decided that I'm not doing another podcast or any sort of show about Miss World Sri Lanka or Miss World or my journey, because before I went to Miss World, I didn't have this exposure. So I didn't really have an opportunity to tell my story, maybe except for few programs that you coordinated for me. But when I was at Miss World, people started creating their own narratives, their own versions of Anudi Gunasekara, but I never got to tell my story. So when I returned, when I was invited for podcasts and TV shows and whatnot, I saw it as an opportunity for me to share my version of my story, to reflect on my journey, to tell people what they didn't see or what they didn't know. But I realized the more I speak about it, the more they misunderstood me and take it out of context. Now, I know not every podcast, not every show, not every TV program, but I feel like it's again to get more attention and more reach. Sometimes I would say I would have this entire podcast for 30 minutes and they will take 10 seconds out of it without any context, nothing.
Yeah.
And often something controversial, something. So it just put it out there on the internet and they would just put the caption, watch the full video, watch the full thing. So I don't think people right now have an attention span which is enough to watch like a whole show. So they would just scroll and they would just see that on Facebook, and they would create that entire image of myself based on that 10 seconds. I went to this one award ceremony with my mother. So my mom she was there, and she went away for me to take my individual pictures with that media people and everyone. And my mom was just watching me like, this is my daughter, like that. And that 10 seconds was on the internet, on TikTok, saying, oh my gosh, she's so mean. She doesn't even let her mom come to take pictures with her, and she has completely ignored. Like, hello, like my mom was willingly there for me to like take pictures. So that 10 seconds was enough for people to create an entire image. Yes. So like, even when the entire podcast could be about me talking about the support I got and how grateful I am, and that little tiny part where I speak about my haters is out there, and people are like, she's not grateful, she's ungrateful, she only talks about haters. And maybe that is like 30 seconds of the entire podcast. So because of that, I realized I was being exploited, and sometimes the content I did like few months ago still coming out. And this one time I realized this is just exploitation at this point, because I went to Miss World. Yes, I did my part. It's over. Move on. I have moved on, because Sri Lanka has so much other things to focus on. And I don't think people want to talk about my journey or my experience again and again. I mean, this podcast I did because I respect both of you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done anything.
This has been timed 4 days before you say
because
goodbye.
It's my rain is finishing off. Because of that, because again, people will judge you. Because if I'm Anudi Gunasekara, and if I see Anudi talking about this hype and whatnot even months later, I would be mad too. I would be like, girl, get over it. Move on. Because
you have moved on.
Yeah, I have moved on. But the thing is, the perception people create of you on the internet, it is not the same me. True. Right? They would just create a framework for Anudi Gunasekara. Anudi Gunasekara is someone who doesn't wear short clothes. And God forbid I wear one, I'm out. So it's their narrative. I think it's the same case for any woman. Society loves boxing you into frameworks, and they would like to tick it. Like, okay, no short dresses, tick, a good woman. No swimsuits, a good woman, tick it. So when they realize, okay, Anudi is not fitting into this framework I created in my head, they are mad. Right? There were so many edited pictures of me out there, sometimes in swimsuit, sometimes I haven't even seen myself in one. That swimsuit pictures, I never ever defended myself, because if I went there and said, look, it's edited, I never had to wear something like that, please respect me. It's me saying, okay, if it's a woman wears it, that means she deserves to be disrespected. So as a pageant girl, you have to wear a swimsuit. That is not something so shocking. Right? So if I come out there and say like, look, it's AI and please don't do this to me, then it's almost again me saying,
you're validating that.
Yeah, validating that. And it's like, if a woman wears it, okay, you can disrespect, no problem. That is me putting that entire pageantry industry down, because everybody wears a swimsuit, a bikini or one piece, whatever it is. I've been modeling for 6 years in my life. So before Miss World, I have had a whole modeling journey. It's not that I came from Anuradhapura just to win Miss Sri Lanka. I've been here since 2019. So it is not just one day I woke up and thought, okay, to tell my parents, okay, parents, I have to go to Miss World. No, it was building up every single year. So again, like, I really don't care what other people say, because if you care, you can't even do this pageant journey. The first thing you need to do is blocking them off. When the new girls come to me and say, Anudi, what should we do? Give me an advice. I would always say, just grow thick skin.
Thick skin, yeah.
Be tough. Because if you're going to care about what other people say about you, you will never do this journey. So another thing about me is I really don't care about haters, because when someone hates me, I want to do better. Like, I realize that I get more hate the moment I thrive, because I understand hating me is understandable, because I don't give up, right? People probably wanted me to go into my shell and never come back, but I still want to show up. I still come to events, I still do my charity, I still work on my academics and everything. I never give up. So if someone is hating that, I think it has to do something with them. They're just miserable people. And I'm glad that they are taking time to hate me. So I take it as a compliment, Kumar. I take it as a compliment.
On a positive note, this year, especially after you came from Miss World, you won so many awards.
Yes. Acknowledgement. Again, I
Acknowledgement.
want to say it is, I don't ever see that award as an award for Anudi Gunasekara. I see it as an award for all the pageant title holders who went before me. It is an acknowledgement for all of us.
A build up, yeah.
Yeah, because there were contestants who had placed higher than me who did not get that acknowledgement. So I sort of like, it's a tribute to them as well. I don't take it as just my achievement. I always, even in my captions, I put, this is not a win for me, this is a win for all of us. So by doing this, because I was inspired because of them, right? I came this journey thanks to them too, because I saw Amrita, I'm inspired. I saw Shade, I'm inspired. So this win is not just mine. All of us are in it, and I really hope the next girl will also see me, and if she likes, take me as an inspiration and do better than me. And I think that's when I realized, as a pageant title holder, I am successful and I did my part.
Anudi, on the 4th of November night at around 9:30, 10, 11, you are a former Miss Sri Lanka. It's done. The journey is done, it's dusted. You realize that the new journey is a longer journey than your 16 months of reign. You
Yeah.
drop dead, you are a Miss Sri Lanka. Now, leaving the crown apart, what is your journey? Academics, marriage, engagement, going overseas, working overseas? Do I have the right to ask you
Yeah, of
officially in public?
Of course you have right. I mean, I would tell you anything. So I always had a plan, as in I have always been running after something until I went to Miss World, because I did my final exams while I was doing the pageant for Miss Sri Lanka, and I won it doing that. And thinking about it, I feel like I was running after something. I always had something in my mind to say, like, after this I'm doing this, after this I'm doing this. For the first time in my life, I don't have that entire checklist written in my head. I feel like I'm taking it slow, which is a good thing. I don't think I ever took a break from A-levels to college, and then college to pageantry, then pageant to the local to Miss World. It was like a never-ending race for me. But I would like to say that I have plans for my personal life. I mean, I want to get married. I want to have a family life. But also beyond that, I want to...
Career, job,
I would
postgraduate
possibly
work,
getting into what I studied. I don't want to waste
academics.
that. So I'm starting my master's very soon, and I want to focus on that because I don't want to waste what I studied, but I wouldn't really stick only to that either, because I feel like I have opportunities right now. I would explore everything, because you don't get these opportunities every day.
No, you
When
don't.
you have it, you need to use it. And I will definitely, I'm still continuing my non-profit organization as well.
Saheli.
So I want to build it up further to help more people. And Saheli has completely switched to sustainable products. We no longer give the disposable pad for multiple reasons. I decided to do that after Miss World, because I was with Miss Nepal throughout my journey. She was one of my best friends. And her project was more about environment. And I realized the amount of pollution we create. And I want to use sustainable products. One thing, it's good for women. It's sustainable because they don't have to purchase it every month.
Hygienic.
And it's good for the environment as well. So I'm collaborating with brands that support that cause. And I just want to create a life that will inspire others. I always say I don't care if they think I'm ugly or beautiful or not tall enough. But if they look at me and think, if she did that, I can do that too. That's all I want.
That's a win.
Yeah, and I also think I keep a lot of things to myself now, because I had an immense amount of public exposure out of nowhere, which was like a lot of pressure to me. So right now I think I might look like I'm posting everything, but I also keep many things to myself now. And I find peace in it, to be honest, because people can't ruin things they don't know. And I don't really see myself doing social media or acting or anything. I just want a peaceful life. I don't think I will be doing that forever, like even when I was old. I'm old. But yeah, all I want is to be having a peaceful life and happy life.
Would you promise me even now?
Okay. Okay, you have to tell me.
Would you that you will restart learning
No. No, I think I'm done with that. I don't think I have to like restart. I just have to polish it. Okay, I will.
Anudi, thank you so very much for being here on the show.
And we wish you all the
Thank
very
you
best
so
in the
much.
next chapter of your life, because I
space
think
for yourself, your private space.
you
with
need to be
Sally there, away
consistent,
from all this,
resilient.
your journey, your
And
academic
thank you for
journey.
inviting me again.
Well,
It's
I
an
had to
honor.
do this. So this is 4 days more to go today.
We had to say goodbye to you.
Yeah, this is goodbye to you.
Too
So
sad.
next Tuesday, 4th of November, will be a new queen, and this shall be a best remembered
And
former.
it'll be one
Miss
of his
Sri
favorites.
Lanka.
You
Yeah.
never know. And
Yes.
another addition to that
No.
WhatsApp group.
No,
My-
he's
my-
saying he's
my
done with
family-
it. I'm pretty sure he will
Yes, no.
expand
Well,
it.
Boru,
No,
boru.
bet it's just
Mona
the four
bet.
of you all.
I'm pretty sure when I
Lastly,
won, you had the
Amrita,
same thing.
Shali, and Anudi.
When I was at the
Nah.
pageant, I wasn't even a favorite.
Exactly.
And then from that I promoted to a daughter position. And honestly, that is better than winning Miss World.
Have you
Winning
ever,
Miss
ever
World is
have
easy
you
actually.
ever forgiven me for the fact that
Don't
you were
forgive him for that.
You were never my winner. You were even not in my top 5 last year. Have you ever forgiven me for that?
I don't have any grudge against you for
But
that.
you prick it into me all the time.
I don't, but I think that achievement itself is enough for me to end this chapter because it's not easy being a favorite of Kumar.
Oh, no,
He
no,
does
no,
not
no,
favor
no, no.
people. It's really hard to impress him. I was kind of glad he was not for the audition. He was not there for the audition when I auditioned for Miss Sri Lanka because I had studied him for years.
I was
Because
not invited.
I was. Oh my God! Is it
Gosh.
it was.
I think we better
So
end this show because
yes.
it's endless now.
Yes. So,
Now
but
it's
I'm
getting
glad
too personal.
I was. I became his favorite at the end of the day, which is a great achievement, and I got the most amount of time from his life and help and all the contacts and
Became
whatnot.
his favorite
95%
daughter.
was your work. 95%.
But the 95% was like sort of enabled because of your help.
I'm happy.
You just
Hari,
like-
Hari, we'll have that
I think
conversation
we
after.
have talking and talks. Anudi, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you for
wonderful.
having me.
Good luck, all the best, and enjoy your private life now, for God's sake.
Yes.
Your private space.
All the very best, Anudi.
So
Thank you
Cheers
for
to
coming
Miss
again.
World Sri Lanka 2024. Anudi Gunasekara.
Thank you.